All right, let's talk about something that could genuinely change your life. I'm serious. We're going to break down a toolkit for communication that works everywhere, at the office, with your family, you name it. Ready to dive in? Let's do this. Okay, be honest. Do you ever get that feeling where you're talking, but you can just tell no one is really hearing you? It's like you're speaking a completely different language, whether you're in a big meeting or just trying to talk to a friend. It is so frustrating, right? Well, we're going to get into exactly why that happens and, more importantly, what to do about it. And here is the wild part. Most of the time, we think we're being crystal clear. Like, of course they understand me. But get this. A Harvard study found that we overestimate our own clarity by over 40%. That is a massive gap, right? And that space, that gap between what we think we're saying and what they're actually hearing, well, that's where things go wrong. This really gets to the core of the problem. It's not just about the words you use, it's about how those words land on the other person. Seriously, think about it for a second. Every misread text message, every argument that goes in circles, it's all happening right there, in that space between your intention and their impact. And this is exactly what that breakdown looks like in real life. You know, you're trying to give some helpful feedback, but they take it as you being super critical. Or you think you're just being direct and honest, but they feel like you were way too harsh. Or, my favorite, you shoot off a quick, efficient email to save time, and they feel totally brushed off. I mean, we've all been on both sides of this, right? It's the classic communication breakdown.
So, what's the fix? Well, it all starts with this one huge mindset shift. The real goal of communication isn't just to express yourself, it's to create shared understanding. This is the bedrock for everything else we're going to talk about. It's about moving away from defending what I meant and becoming almost obsessed with figuring out what they actually heard.
Okay, let's get into the first principle. This is the first tool in our toolkit, and it's all about starting with yourself. Before you say a single word, you've got to get a handle on your own emotions.
And this isn't just some feel-good advice, there's real science behind this. The second you feel triggered, defensive, angry, your brain flips a switch. It goes into fight or flight mode. Blood literally flows away from the smart, rational part of your brain and into the part that's just trying to survive. So at that point, you're not really communicating, you're just reacting.
So what do? It's incredibly simple, but it's a total game changer. You just pause. Seriously, don't hit send on that fired up email. Write it out, sure, but then get up and walk away. If you're talking to someone in person, it's okay to say, you know what, I need a second to process that. A pause isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's you protecting the relationship and the conversation. All right, on to principle number 2. And this one might go against everything you think you know about being persuasive. We tend to believe that if we're more passionate, more intense, people will listen. But it turns out that's actually not true at all. Yeah, think about it like this. When you bring all that fire and intensity, it feels really powerful to you, the speaker. But for the person on the receiving end, it just feels like pressure. It feels unsafe. It makes them want to pull back. Simple clarity, though, that's what makes a listener feel safe. That's what actually builds the trust you need for them to hear you.
I mean, Einstein absolutely nailed it here. Being able to explain something simply isn't about dumbing it down. It's proof that you truly, deeply get it. And it really boils down to this. When you're clear, people lean in. They want to cooperate. But when you're all over the place and intense, they naturally pull away.
And that idea of safety leads us right into our third principle. Look, before you deliver any kind of tough message or critical feedback, you have to prepare the soil first. You have to create an environment of psychological safety, or else nothing you say is going to stick. And here's why that is so crucial. The moment a person feels judged or blamed or embarrassed, their brain's listening port just slams shut. That's it. Their only priority becomes self-protection. They stop hearing your words and start building their defense for the counterargument. So how do you get them to lower their defenses? You use words that signal you're on their side. Phrases like these are like magic keys. They say, I'm a partner, not an opponent. They make someone feel like you're trying to understand them, not just correct them. And only when that feeling of safety is there can your message actually get through. Okay, principle number 4 is honestly a superpower. If there's one tool that can instantly turn a fight into a problem-solving session, it's this: asking genuine questions out of real curiosity. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Statements tend to create resistance. They feel like an accusation. But questions? Questions invite collaboration. You're not saying you're wrong, you're saying let's figure this out together. It completely changes the energy of the conversation. And look, if you take away only one single phrase from our entire time together, please let it be this one. Help me understand. These 3 words are pure gold. They immediately bring the tension down, they signal respect, and they create the space needed for real communication to happen.
Now, you can have all the perfect phrases in the world, but our 5th principle is about what brings them to life. It's the one thing we all know is important, but we so often forget to manage: our tone of voice.
You know the old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it? Well, it's completely true, especially when things get emotional. Your tone of voice carries way more weight than the actual words coming out of your mouth. You could say, "Help me understand," with a sarcastic, angry tone, and you've completely defeated the purpose. Your tone has to match your goal.
And that brings us to our final principle. This one is all about landing the plane. Think about it. So many good conversations just fizzle out. You do all this work to connect and understand, and then you just let it drift away without any clear ending. We have to stop doing that.
And the payoff for landing the plane is massive. Research shows that just ending a meeting or conversation with a quick summary, like, "Okay, so just to be clear, we agree on this, and the next step is that." That simple action can reduce misunderstandings at work by more than half. It's about making sure everyone leaves the room knowing exactly what was decided. It's a simple idea, but so powerful. Clarity really is kindness.
So let's put it all together. Here's your 6-point checklist for communication that actually works. Number 1, regulate your emotions before you speak. 2, go for clarity, not intensity. 3, lower the threat to create safety. 4, ask more questions. 5, make sure your tone matches your words. And number 6, always, always, always close the loop.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. The point of communication isn't to win, it's to connect. It's to be understood, sure, but to do it in a way that actually strengthens the relationship, instead of damaging it. Because when you can make people feel truly safe and heard, that's the moment they actually start to listen.